Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Amanda.
and this is I'm Your Mother Now podcast.
Episode 6.
Oh,
Welcome.
well, welcome. Hi, hi.
Hi. Hi, we just had a little bit of a technical issue and it threw us for a loop, did it not?
I
I
feel
gotta
I
be
feel
honest
okay.
with you,
Oh,
Sarah. Nobody can see. Well, yes, you can. This is driving me nuts. My hair is driving me nuts.
listen, it looks crazy. What
I,
is that?
I just simply don't understand. I simply cannot tell you because it doesn't make any sense. Like, why can't I just blow dry my hair and then the next day have it look normal? Like, it's literally just sticking, it's like sticking up.
Okay,
Like,
the
I,
only
I
thing the
just,
only thing I can think of for you is that you need to tease your roots and use a dry shampoo the second day. However, I at first wasn't believing you, but now I'm like, damn. But this is funny. There's
yeah,
nothing
it's
you
cool.
can do. You you just have a waterfall on the top of your head.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow,
Okay. Anyhow.
how are you, my sister?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
It's new moon this week, so I have my period.
My period.
Yet again, here we are.
Here we
Actually,
are.
we were talking about Patricia. We've talked about Patricia a lot, which is your luteal phase, which is the week leading
Mm-hmm.
up to the period drop.
Yeah.
And this has been the first Patricia week I've had, which would have been, the past week, right? That I really haven't been agitated at all. I've actually been very chill and calm, no?
Mm. And it raises the question, where
Yeah.
does the agitation then come from?
Yeah, and I don't have enough data, so we have to give me a few more cycles for this, but
Mm-hmm. For
I've
sure.
worked pretty diligently this year to remove anything and anyone who is giving me stress. And I am wondering if the lack of friction points when Patricia comes to town gives her much less to do.
Yeah, either that or you crashed out for like 3 weeks straight leading up to it. So you had like gotten everything out of your system.
Yeah, so it could be one or the other.
One or the other. We'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see. We need more data.
I love data.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So, there's that. It's been a time. Are you going to be able to do this today? Do you need
I'm
to
gonna
turn
be able
your
to do this. No,
cameras
I so
off?
cameras off. Well, literally, it's a podcast. When we started doing this, I did not anticipate that we were gonna have so much video.
Hmm.
Um, but it's actually been kind of interesting to see how we change week over week because I was
Visually?
going well, like just I feel like we've grown up in the past year almost that
We
we have
have.
been doing this because in a couple of months we will be getting on the 1 year anniversary of our first episode that was
What?
kicked
That's
off.
crazy.
Yeah, we did. Well, we didn't launch until August, but we started recording in May. So
Wait. Oh
we
my God,
have
we
a lot
did.
of really super freaking awkward um recordings. Where was I
Cool.
going with this?
I don't know. And you had a lot of topics you wanted to speak about today. You made me stop a story that I was trying to tell you during face care time. And
Face
because you
care?
said you should tell the yeah, when I FaceTime you when I do my face care at night.
Oh, I thought you were calling the type of call that we have face care. It's like, when the therapist calls me, the unqualified um individual.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
no, no,
I
no.
if it works out, I tend to call my sister at night when I'm doing my facial care.
Yeah, or like yesterday, she called me, and we were in the middle of what is a very typical toddler meltdown, and he was
Yeah.
pissed. I was like, I've exposed you.
Yeah, he was like,
You called and I
"Why?
picked up and I was
Why?"
like, this is what I'm doing. He was laying on the floor on the landing of the stairs.
Little
Um,
tantrum. Little tantrum for the little prince.
yeah, so I had a lot of topics, but I also said to you I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to organize all my profound thoughts into something that would sound like anything more than the musings of a madwoman. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure that we've gotten there, but there was something that I wanted to talk about that and this is going to be epic because this is like, if you listen to the last episode, we said we were going to talk about this, and here we are. It's crying during movies
Okay.
and how I will share my. Do you want me to share my experience first, Sarah? I feel like
Yeah,
lately I just keep talking over you
you
and
do.
not giving you the proper platform. So I'm trying to be better, Sarah.
Is this the way, Amanda? Tell your
I don't
story.
know. I don't know.
Just go on, tell your story.
I have just always felt, I don't know that this is a very long story, but I've always felt like shame for crying during anything on TV, right? So, like, if it's,
Mhm.
gosh, during the Olympics when they have all those hard hitting, like, commercials, um, basically anything. Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, A-
Topical.
ASPCA commercials,
Mm,
an episode of Bluey. Uh, you just
okay.
name it, right? And anything that makes you feel something, which if you think about it, that's the whole point, right? The whoever was creating this, they wanted you
Absolutely. And
homeward
she's like, I
bound.
won't give you this satisfaction. You won't get my emotion.
But why?
Are you asking or do you like know?
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't know because that feeling is just what it's the it's like the truth to me, right? That way is not what you're not supposed to cry. But why, Sarah? And
Okay.
sometimes I've actually like given myself a headache trying not to cry during something that was making me cry.
Okay. Well, I have to say, like, I'm like, oh wow, that's so crazy. But actually, um,
Please join me. I'm hanging by my own
well, I
napkin.
have like I know exactly why I was like that. And I say was because I'm not anymore. Um, Beth is watching. She can attest to this because like we went to this recital and this like 18-year-old girl was singing a Taylor Swift song and I just started crying.
I mean, I didn't even add that to my list. A good cover from a
A
young
good
person.
cover from a young person who has never experienced any of those things. But here's my villain origin story with the crying is it's our dad. Because growing up, our mom has always been very emotion forward, right?
Sure.
She was never somebody who repressed emotions, crying, laughing, whatever, right? Like she's a very emotional person, like emotional, expressive person, I would say, right? Puerto Rican.
Slightly maniacal.
So
It's a line.
so that was never an issue there. But our father is the absolute opposite, and he really did not um cherish that feature of our mother's personality. In fact, he was always making fun of her or telling her to shut up. So that obviously affected us, right? So
Clearly,
when we were around him, that was a feeling. But I remember specifically that I was sitting watching TV with him one day, and then some commercial came on, and I felt myself start crying, and he made fun of me. And after that, I was like, yeah, yeah, so my feeling is correct. This is not right and it's not safe. So from then on, I would do the same thing you did, which was like just like attack myself to not express that feeling. And that is really unhealthy in so many different ways, obviously, especially when you're a person who wants to cry about everything, kind of, right? So, like, I went
kind
through
of.
most of my early adulthood repressing that part of my personality.
Hmm.
But the truth is, I am now moved to tears for lots of things, good things, medium things, like anything. Cause it's just like, I like when that like humanity chord is touched within me, I want to cry about it a little bit. Right. And there's some things that will always make me cry. One of those things is Whitney Houston singing the national anthem in the 90s during the Iraq War. Do you remember
Yes.
that? I lose it.
What game
I'll
was
lose.
that?
I can
What
lose it.
was
Right?
that?
It was like a Yankees game or something. It was baseball. I will lose it. I can lose it right now if you want, just thinking about it. Okay? Because just the whole thing, right? Because I think humanity brings me to tears when it is connected in some way, right? Like
Hmm.
I think it's beautiful the way that people love each other and can connect with each other. I think that's why I actually really enjoy um war movies. And I was thinking about that because, like, I love Black Hawk Down. I watched that over and over and over. I saw it in the
With
theater
the
a
English
lot.
Patient, I feel like you watched that a lot.
Well, the English Patient, like, while it happens within a
I've never seen it.
wartime, okay, so it's not really a war movie like
Okay.
a combat movie, right? But I think what I love about war movies, and probably what men love about war movies, if I may presume, is that it shows the tenderness and love between men that you don't really get to see in other ways because they don't allow themselves to, right? Like the brotherhood between them, how much they commit to each other, what they're willing to go through to go save one of their own. Rarely are any of these war movies actually about the war, what the war is about, because no one gives a shit about that war. Because once those kids get into that war zone, they're just trying to survive and keep their people alive, right? And it's
Yeah.
so sad because it's like you could just love each other at home. You don't have to have threat of death and bombs to make it okay to care. And that makes me so sad and then I cry.
Well, it's like I saw something. I was like, all the things men will do outside of just being gay.
Yeah. Or just having their feelings. Like it's not
Yeah.
like just oh, it's so sad.
Uh, wow. We really got there. Now I'm thinking,
Anyway, if you're
okay.
wondering, I will cry about
Well,
anything now. So I hope you'll join me, Amanda.
it sounds like Sarah's gonna watch Saving Private Ryan this weekend.
I love Saving Private Ryan, but it really Black Hawk Down does it for me. I love Black Hawk
I
Down.
don't know that I've ever seen that.
That's fucking crazy. So maybe you should see that because that's like really good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I have I'm not gonna do that.
Sarge,
I'm no.
Sarge.
Ryan
Um,
would be so mad if I was like, let's watch Black Hawk Down after all of the movies that he has wanted me to watch that are new, that are like just like the queue is adding up. And I'd be like, let's watch Black Hawk Down. Because my sister said, he'd be like, are you fucking kidding me?
why has he not seen it?
He has seen it. I feel like he's seen everything. But sorry, before I lose my thought, because we're talking about how our parents were very different when it came to this, right? To crying during movies or emotional expression.
Yeah,
And we spent the majority of our time with our mother. So why
yeah.
did we not err on the side of we just are going to be expressing ourselves emotionally all the time?
Because dad said mom was wrong
Yeah.
and he made fun of her. And then he told me specifically, don't be like your mother. Like dad didn't give me a lot of advice growing up. That was like
But one thing he
one
did
of
say quite often was don't be like your mom.
don't be like your mom. And it wasn't specific as to what that meant. It was a very
No,
broad thing.
it was a
So
gesturing vaguely around
gesturing
the room.
vaguely.
Don't, and it's like, okay.
He said, don't be like your mom. And he's also told me you're just like your mother.
Oh, so then
And
he gave you the ultimate insult.
he primed me with don't be like that. And then when I got to a point where he couldn't help me anymore with that sage advice, he's like, well, the circle is unbroken. You're your mother. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go find a new daddy now
No.
and marry him.
You're like, I'm gonna go do what the textbooks say I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go
New
find myself a
daddy for me.
daddy.
Maybe this daddy will love me. Spoiler alert,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't. He
Fuck.
also he also didn't. He did not respect me for who I was as a
Ah,
person. And now this weekend he's marrying someone who looks exactly like me. And may
it
they live, laugh, love, and fucking prosper. Okay?
life is crazy, honestly. I would say that the well, no, I don't want to say that.
Oh, or
I don't want to say
douchey.
the craziest thing that I have realized because that would just be I would have to I would need to rank it
Yeah, we
like
have to do
on my
less
list.
editorialism. Just say the thing and let us decide how we feel about it.
Right. So when I was in my 20s and everybody was Bethany, when I was in my 20s and everyone was getting married, right? And this like or like even I think all my friends sorry, the comments in
I
our
love you
chat
guys.
are very pro, they're very pro Sarah. You know, with these dudes that were like, there's lots of problems, right? Like just fraught with issues, but that's your person, right?
That's the
right?
person.
That's my
Let's make it work.
person.
Don't
So
be a
everyone,
quitter.
so everyone's like getting married. And now, almost 10 years down the road, everyone's fucking falling apart. And the part that is interesting to me is how much your family dynamic really does change. Like, if you think about holidays, like 15 years ago, I would have thought that it was going to be like that forever because that's just kind of what I assumed, right? But you really do live so many different versions of like your family life. And when people get divorced, everything changes. And a lot of times for the better,
Sure.
and a lot of times, just kind of different. So
Yeah.
I always thought that people would just be together forever, but I would say that something that's different in our generation from previous is that these women are up and leaving.
Yeah. It's a mass exodus because the ick has been icked. And once you ick, you can't unick.
No, no,
No. No.
no, no.
It's not an epidemic because an epidemic implies it's something negative. It's an awakening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, um,
If
what
anyone
was
else
your
cries during movies, or what was my point? Were you gonna ask me what my
yeah.
point was? I don't know what my
Just me.
point was. Don't
Oh, I
ask me
was just
that
like
question. Don't put me on the spot. What was my point
I
about the
was just
story that I
trying
just told you?
I'm
It's
sorry.
about the journey, Sarah, not about the destination. And
That
half the time,
that
I
is
forget
something
where
you're
I'm
saying.
going.
Yeah,
I have
okay.
gotten better about it, though. I'll be honest with you.
I was just trying to distill it.
Right.
So can I finally tell you my story that you
Love
interrupted me
changes, a thug
about?
changes,
Oh my
and
God.
best friends become strangers.
Is
The
this a
people
song?
in your life are seasons or
Amanda.
reasons. Sorry,
Amanda.
it might have been. Yes?
Can I tell you my story now that you wouldn't
Sure.
let me tell you? Okay? Because
Okay.
yeah, okay guys, because last night during my facial time, I was telling her a story and I actually found a
I'm
story
not
that
calling that.
she what?
Sorry.
What?
Your facial time is just a weird. Just say your skincare, sister.
When I squeeze potions and rub them on my face
Okay.
in a climax of beauty. Um, anyway, so I was telling her a story about me in high school that she had never heard about. She didn't know this. And I was
Oh,
like, wow.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm set,
So,
bitch. Let's go.
okay. So, because I was telling my friend, I went to dinner with her friend last night and I was telling her about this. I was like, you don't know how weird I was in high school. And I was just like, here's an illustrating. But also, as I'm telling this story, I want everyone to ask themselves, where was your mother?
It might
So,
happen just
so
naturally.
I was 16 years old. Okay. And earlier in life, our mother had taken us quite a lot to Newport, Rhode Island. We kind of hyper focused on that, right? We really liked Newport. Okay. So I really liked Newport, Rhode Island, which was about what, 2.5 hours away from our house, let's say.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So at 16, I would just take myself there for a
What?
little, R&R. Okay. So, but
To
what I
Rhode
would do,
Island, Sarah?
wow,
Okay,
sit
continue.
down, then this story is going to blow your mind if that part got you. So I went to JCPenney's and I bought myself a cubic zirconia engagement ring. Okay. I still have it. And I would make a reservation at this particular boutique hotel in Newport, Rhode Island. It was called the Mill or something like that. And I would tell them on the phone, because this was an online booking time, I would call them and book. And I would tell them on the phone that I was coming in for a weekend or a couple days or something, and just to get a little bit of time before my wedding. I needed a little alone time before my wedding. And they would have a basket waiting for me with wine.
I don't believe this story.
Okay,
Okay,
but it's
continue.
okay. So they would have a basket waiting for me with wine. I was 16 because I couldn't drink, right? So I would go drive to Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island by myself, all right, with a credit card and go stay at this boutique hotel, have a bathtub, bubble bath, drink my wine, and then go out and have dinner and talk to people and just be this person who was about to get married. And I had a great time. I would take myself on tours of all the mansions. I would do the cliff walk. I would just all this stuff. I was having the best time ever, just all by myself with my cubic zirconia.
I am like so unsure what to say about this because I wasn't allowed to like go anywhere unless mom talked on the phone to where did you say you were?
That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe we can ask her.
How
Did
about
she know?
you're drinking? No one even checked your ID when you went to
No,
check in. And
no, they
that
didn't.
was a gamble in itself. Like you drove your butt up there knowing fully well that they might be like,
Actually, no. It never occurred to me that that would be an issue at all.
I don't understand.
And you should also know that the credit card I was using had mom's name on it. So if I were to be asked to provide an ID to verify said credit card, they wouldn't match.
No, but you'd be like, "Oh, it's my mother who is treating me to this weekend before my wedding."
Regardless, I wasn't worried about any of those details. Like, I can't tell you that they ever crossed my mind that that would be an issue. But I
That's
will
literally
say
insane.
this was the late 90s, right? This would have been like 1999 or 2000, probably 1999 or 2000-ish, whatever, whenever I would have been 16, because I was definitely 16 because I was driving myself, um, obviously. But yeah, I would do shit like that. I would just become a different person and leave and just go do stuff. I was like really, really wild like that.
I, that's unsafe.
I'm just saying, like I did a lot of things like that that I look back and I'm like, whoa, like where'd you get that? Where'd you get that idea?
I can't. Like I have no idea how like nobody and then okay, so we had talked a little bit about this because this is when the credit card when pe they would send you like credit cards in the mail that you just needed to activate, right?
Uh-huh, like real credit
And
cards.
like a real credit card. So was no one checking this statement?
No, no one ever checked the statement. So mom, I remember when she got that credit card in the mail and she just kind of handed it to me and she was like, "Here, just use this when you need to like do something or whatever." And so it was a MasterCard and she didn't give me any type of understanding of what a credit card was, how to use it or anything like that. And I used that through high school. And I would take my friends out to lunch and obviously take myself on trips to Rhode Island. I don't know. Like I was just doing all kinds of stuff. I was just doing really weird stuff by myself. Like I didn't
And
bring any friends with me.
nobody saw this bit. Well, I'm sure that your friends would not be allowed to just dip off to Newport for the weekend.
I think there might be a chance mom knew I was there.
I wasn't even allowed to be in the car with someone who had just gotten their license.
Yeah, neither would my kids be. But I think mom
You're
knew I
one
was
year
there.
older than Eli, than your son.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, he could never. He could never pull off the the con job that I pulled off
Well,
on
no,
Newport,
his
Rhode
brain
Island.
would never even begin to use its processing power.
And well, but here's the thing. I wasn't in trouble. So I knew I wasn't doing something I wasn't allowed to do, Amanda, because I didn't have that feeling of getting caught. Like I wasn't in Newport thinking, "Oh, uh-oh, I hope no one finds out I'm here." Like I felt very solid being there. So, it must have been an approved trip of some sort. But I didn't do this once. I did this several times. And I remember one time I had hurt my ankle. And so I really had trouble walking, but I was hobbling along those cobblestone steps. And I was like, we're doing this. I would soak my foot in the bathtub, have a little of my wine. Like it was a whole thing. Sometimes I would take myself shopping to the outlets.
I'm I'm floored by this. This I don't
Yeah.
understand this. It's my brain. Meanwhile, I was probably just sitting in my room with an empty head. Like it doesn't make sense how little I had going on in my brain and you were like just out doing stuff. I
I
don't
was
like I
out.
have been like such a rule follower, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. We're very different. And at that same time was the same time that I would also just drive into New York City to like the Lower East Side just to get Angelica Kitchen and then like go walk around Fort Tryon Park and pretend I was Cleopatra. Like I would do weird stuff all the time.
I'm just I don't
all the
know.
time. But like also, here's the thing. 16-year-old Sarah was so cool to grown-up Sarah, and she wasn't really cool to anybody else,
Just
but
uninhibited.
yeah, but she was just living for the pure joy of embodying different experiences. And as I move through like this 42nd year of my life, I want more 16-year-old Sarah. Like, yeah, just embody those experiences. Like be the energy you wish to experience in this life, right? Like put a ring on and go have, speaking of rings,
Don't wink at me.
why?
It's creepy.
Speaking of rings, what did I do,
Speaking of
Amanda? What did
rings,
I do? What did I
you
do?
are, we've talked about this a little bit. You actually did it now.
I did it. I did it yesterday, guys. So, for anyone who's catching up on the lore of my drama, my ex is getting married this weekend, right? And I'm fine with it. But I've had my wedding rings, sitting around burning a hole in a drawer for like the past 6 years, basically. And I decided finally to alchemize those bitches.
Mm.
So I took my ring to a jeweler yesterday and sat with him. He was so sweet and cute. And he created the CAD of it and like took the measurements of the diamond. And so basically, I'm taking it and taking that diamond, putting it in a completely different element. So moving it from platinum to gold and turning the direction.
Mm.
So it's going from
Yep.
vertical to horizontal, and it's going to obviously go on my other hand. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be like that is the best magic I can think of for that ring. Like
Yeah.
that, and I'm because it's still mine, but now it's
Yeah.
mine, right? And
Yeah.
it's so interesting because he was holding the ring and he looked at me and he was like, this doesn't seem like the right kind of ring for your hand. Like this must have been so uncomfortable to wear because it's
Ugh, you
so
don't even know, sweetheart. You don't even
yeah.
know.
It was so uncomfortable to wear. But it really was like if you like it was so thick,
So
Amanda.
thick.
It was so thick and chunky and hard edges. And he's like this doesn't seem comfortable at all. He's like the new ring's going to be so much more profile, like so smooth and profile, like it'll be so comfortable for you. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think you kind of wanted it to be intrusive on your hand.
Well, I didn't know I had choices about the shape of the band or anything because it's actually very squared off. The band is like really, really thick. It's basically double the thickness of a standard band. It's just very thick and it's
Yeah.
squared off. It doesn't have any rounded edges, so it's a very masculine, heavy energy, you know.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
now
which makes sense.
it's gonna be
Princess
gold and
energy.
soft and just
Perfection.
perfection. Maybe I'll take myself to a boutique hotel and have a story about it.
Literally, bring me though. Stop.
You'll have to create a story for yourself if you want to come on this trip.
Ugh,
Oh,
okay.
wow. Okay. I'll make one for you. I love making stories. I'll give you a different name too.
Okay.
Okay.
Next time on I'm Your Mother Now podcast, we're gonna talk about the boomer saying, "Do as I say, not as I do."
Oh, God.
I'm gonna talk about what it means to have that be your parenting advice. Watch nothing that I do. Do not model my behaviors.
Well, that's actually a very interesting thing, not just like
I
a shit
know.
talking thing, because it's learning in the negative spaces, right?
Right.
You're learning in the negative spaces
Like, don't
instead
be like
of
your mom instead of saying, okay, then what? What does that mean? Right? There was a
yeah,
lot of that. There's a lot of that growing up, a lot of don't do that. But it's like,
yeah,
okay, well, then what do you want me to do instead? And so then as a kid, you just come up with whatever your bright idea is about,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's
the,
learning in the negative it's learning in the negative spaces. And I think that there's a percentage of learning in the negative spaces that is necessary, right? Because you
hmm
do need to learn from the absence of something. That's true.
sure.
But it is also helpful to learn from the positive spaces, right? The ones that actually jumped out to you and said, this is actually the lesson. Or like,
hmm
here is a behavior that I've witnessed you repeat. Here's why I think you should not do this behavior. These are the possible consequences of continuing this behavior. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you as a person are going to be in charge of your behavior. Like you need to
Yeah.
decide, but you should have some information and I can give you some. Whether you receive it or not is up to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of previous ways of parenting is in the negative spaces. And even the relationships. You learn a lot in the negative spaces. So yeah, let's talk about that next time because I
Mm-hmm.
love talking about that.
Yeah. I will have it written down on my notepad, Sarah, and we will
Okay.
not miss it.
All right. Well, I hope everybody has a good weekend. I have a little bit of something positive to say to everybody before we jump into this weekend because um, it's really terrible in the world. Okay. And I was having a dinner with a friend last night, and we were just kind of overwhelming ourselves with how every single aspect of every single thing in the whole entire world is so terrible. Okay. And we just kept finding things. We're like this and that and this and that. And I was like, oh my God. And I just looked at her and I said, you know what? As millennials, and she's a zennial, it really is our responsibility to stay sane through this time so that on the other side, when we're rebuilding, we can teach the old ways, right? Because millennials and zennials have such an interesting perspective of having lived through the times before the internet and like kind of watching all these things happen, right? We have a
Yep.
lot to share with people that we need to
Mm-hmm.
keep ourselves sane for. And there
Yep.
and there is that. So whatever you can do this weekend to be kind to yourself and give yourself a little bit of joy, you need to do that
Mm-hmm. Whimsy.
because yes, because of how bad it is out there, you
Mm-hmm.
need to do that because we
Yep.
need each other to stay sane so on the other side we can help everyone remember what analog means.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I'm
Okay?
with it. All right.
All right.
Well,
Stay
I'll catch you
positive.
later. Stay positive and hang in there, kittens.
Hang in there, kittens. All right, bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to I'm Your Mother Now podcast, an Amala Moon production. If you loved today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if I've done the RSS feed properly, wherever you get your pods. You can follow us on Instagram at IYMN_podcast to watch us live on Friday mornings and catch the full episodes on our YouTube channel, I'm Your Mother Now podcast. We'd love if you could share this with a friend who'd vibe with the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps more people to find us. We'll see you next week. Bye.